Hello, my amazing squaddies. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're tuning in from. Welcome to Daily Diaries Friday. I'm truly thankful for each of you in this community built on kindness, unity, and all-around good vibes. If you love the Sussex family, you're among friends here. From royal highlights to their bold new chapters, we keep it uplifting, thoughtful, and always real. Let's continue this beautiful journey together. Be sure to subscribe, like, share, and drop your thoughts below. Now let's jump into today's video. Back in May, the royal PR machine made one of its clumsier attempts at a feel-good story, announcing that Orla, the beloved Cocker Spaniel of Prince William and Princess Kate, had given birth to a litter of 4 puppies. On the surface, this might seem like standard fluff. Just another heartwarming royal anecdote meant to distract from more serious matters. But when you start peeling back the layers, the whole thing begins to look less like an innocent announcement and more like a troubling example of poor judgment, negligence and entitlement masquerading as normalcy. The announcement itself was bafflingly incomplete and carelessly vague. There was no mention of whether Orla had been purposefully bred, no acknowledgement of who the father was, and perhaps most egregiously no explanation of why Orla hadn't been spayed. In a world where animal shelters are overflowing, where thousands of dogs are euthanized every year due to lack of homes, the optics of the future King and Queen of England breeding their pet dog for no discernible reason is not just tone-deaf, it's outright irresponsible. It would be one thing if this were a matter of pure ignorance, but that's hardly believable. These are 2 people with enormous resources, access to expert advisors on every topic under the sun, and the capacity to lead by example. Instead, they've chosen to normalize backyard breeding under the guise of aristocratic domestic life. Adding another layer to the absurdity is the origin of Orla herself. She came from James Middleton, Kate's brother, who, for reasons unknown, considers himself a legitimate dog breeder. There's no evidence he holds any formal certification, no indication that he's regulated by any oversight body, and no public accounting of whether his breeding practices are safe, ethical, or even legal by Kennel Club standards. Yet here we are with a royal dog born from this operation, now reproducing without so much as a statement about whether the breeding was intentional or accidental. If it was intentional, shame on them. If it was accidental, that's somehow even worse. Thankfully, someone finally said the quiet part out loud. Peta, long criticised for their own extreme tactics, managed to land a perfectly justified blow this time. Their Vice President of Programmes, Elisa Allen, released a statement condemning the situation. The Prince and Princess of Wales should know that shelters here and worldwide are overflowing with puppies desperate for a second chance at a loving home, and that churning out a litter in the midst of this animal homelessness crisis is staggeringly out of touch. That phrase, staggeringly out of touch, perfectly encapsulates the general attitude of the modern monarchy. While it may seem like a small issue in the grand scheme of things, the decision to breed Orla instead of adopting speaks volumes about the values and priorities of William and Kate. These are public figures who are supposed to represent modern Britain, yet here they are, flaunting a lifestyle that is increasingly seen as backward and out of step with mainstream values. The British public and much of the world is moving toward rescue and adoption, aware of the heartbreaking overpopulation crisis plaguing dogs and cats globally. Instead of using their platform to encourage this positive change, the royals are glorifying unnecessary breeding. What's worse is the deafening silence from William and Kate's office. No clarification, no apology, not even a perfunctory explanation. The announcement was handled with all the polish of a last-minute social media post, as if the birth of 4 unnecessary puppies in the midst of a shelter overpopulation crisis didn't warrant at least some public accountability. It's a stunning example of the palace's complete inability to read the room, or perhaps their unwillingness to care. Then there's James Middleton. While his Instagram is filled with glossy images of happy, well-fed dogs frolicking in meadows and lounging in country homes, that doesn't absolve him from scrutiny. The presentation of his dogs may be photogenic, but the public still doesn't know much about his actual practices. How many dogs does he breed a year? Are there genetic screenings? Are the dogs health tested and rehomed with proper follow-up? There's a distinct lack of transparency, and it's, well, incredibly frustrating that no one in the media seems interested in digging deeper. If this were a random person running a breeding operation without oversight, there would be questions. But because he's related to the future Queen, it's apparently off-limits. Peta, while imperfect, is absolutely right to raise these issues, and frankly they should have gone further. The entire episode honestly reeks of royal exceptionalism, that belief that the rules and standards applied to the rest of society just don't apply within the walls of Kensington Palace. Orla wasn't spayed, not a problem. Orla had puppies? Well, that's just cute content for a press release, isn't it? The breeding may or may not have been responsible. Irrelevant. This isn't just about one dog and 4 puppies. It's about a pattern of unexamined privilege that extends even into the treatment of animals. Now, contrast this with King Charles and Queen Camilla, who have opted to adopt dogs from shelters. It's a rare instance, really, where the older generation is ahead of the curve, showing compassion and social responsibility where the younger royals seem to falter. If William wants to lead a modern monarchy, one that claims to understand today's challenges, he needs to stop coasting on curated photo ops and start engaging with the values people actually care about. That includes animal welfare. It's hard not to feel disappointed and frankly disgusted by how lazily and irresponsibly this situation has been handled. At the very least, the public deserves clarity. Was Orla intentionally bred? What are the qualifications of the breeder, James Middleton? Will the puppies be given to loving homes or paraded as yet another royal accessory? These questions aren't petty, they're essential. And honestly, they demand answers. Until we get them, this story won't be the feel-good royal fluff it was clearly intended to be. It will stand instead as another glaring example of how detached and outdated the institution and those who represent it have truly become. And that's a wrap, squaddies. Thanks so much for watching and being part of this amazing journey. You guys are the best, and I love you all. Your support means the world to me. If you had a good time, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're the first to catch our next adventure. Drop your thoughts, your questions, or even just a quick hello in the comments. I'd absolutely love to hear from you. Share this with your friends, your family, or anyone who could use a little inspiration. Until next time, stay awesome, stay motivated, stay safe, and keep shining. Catch you later, squaddies.